careful. It grew by consuming the hypercell.
That's not it. Reminder to not do that again. Ouch. Give me ammo. Boom. That reminds me of using the rocket launcher in the Resident Evil 4 to cheese enemies with how much damage that thing does.
Look, it's a hyperdrive.
Another big question, which I was pondering. Raven herself says later in the playthrough, when you fight her for the last time, that even the holographic messages that she was leaving were part of the plan. So, I believe that they were authentic. Like, they were actually not modified messages by any means. I think they were actually authentic recordings or memories from Raven, but they were just used for perpetuating this what would actually be the purpose of this anyway? Okay, so if they have a plan for this, then what is exactly on those holographic messages even? There's a lot of telling and showing of the Nightibas being actually humans. And then there is also a lot of conflicting information about us, or the Eve Protocol members, the Angels, being Eidos androids. And why is that important for this scheme? Well, what does that fundamentally create? The mission is to kill the Elder Nightiba and rid the Nightiba infestation off Earth, or from Earth, as well as save the humans while doing it. Well, there's a problem there. Saving the humans is not really possible, is it? So, is it supposed to create both discontent and disdain towards your own existence as the Eve Protocol members? Is that what they are heading for? Or aiming for? So they are basically creating inner turmoil be inside Eve's mind, so that she would be more like willing to create a new generation of evolved humans. Because her own existence and her own, like, self-awareness, I suppose, would be allowing her to kind of move on, almost. Because of the open-minded and candid personality and morality traits that the Eve Protocol members have. Maybe that is the reason as to why the holographic messages are part of the plan. I guess it can work on paper, but the problem is that Eve and Lily are very, like, they are so immature that their character, their like character's conviction and opinion changes so frequently throughout the game that, like, having them deeply be changed by what they have seen and heard doesn't seem to work here. Which is one of the reasons as to why we do not side with the Nightibus or Raven even later in the game when she's, when she has revealed the entire truth to us in full. Even Lily do not still buy it, and they still oppose her instead. And why do they oppose her? Well, the exact same nature that they were trying to use against her. They oppose her because Raven attacks Zion and kills a lot of the surviving members of the Sentinels and the citizens of Zion. So, because of their, like, very valiant nature, both Lily's as well as Eve's, it is in conflict with the lies and the feeling of betrayal that they have seen from the holographic messages. And the thing with the holographic messages is that those concepts that Raven is talking about in those messages, they go a lot more over their head when it comes to actually, like, understanding and accepting those concepts. But it is a lot easier for their matureness to understand the oppressive nature of what Raven's actions are causing throughout the game. They are a lot more acute problems that they actually can immediately do something about. And they are also more easily understandable concepts, such as the willingness to survive and the suffering and the great amount of compassion that they have for all of that is so overwhelming that it makes the choice for them to act for the people of Zion and the citizens like a first-hand priority over contemplating the overall grandiose plan of the Mother Sphere and their own existence at that point, as those concepts are significantly harder to accept and kind of figure out on your own. It takes a lot more time. Maybe those are the reasons why. But I can definitely see the holographic messages. They could have worked, but the execution
is good.
is off.
Be careful with it now.
And the reader
You
is
should head
also not
back.
amiable
I'll have the
enough
pod
for
waiting for you once you go outside.
Wait,
accepting
There's-
those concepts
there's a legacy
and
here.
migrating them on their own
Legacy. What's that?
moral codes.
It's a device with records left by the airborne squad before me. They leave important information for the next airborne squad.
I see. But Why would an airborne squad come all the way here?
Maybe they knew something about the Alpha or the Elder.
I'll check the legacy.
Day 8 after the second dive. Third record. Legacy account Raven. Remaining survivors Ripley and Anis.
Ripley and Anis.
Anis is in a bad condition. Death is very likely at this rate. We discovered this laboratory 4.47 kilometers from the drop-off point. It seems to be a facility that studied Naytibas, but it's hard to obtain accurate information due to severe contamination. However, I discovered an astonishing fact while searching through the data. Before the war we call the Final War, there was another war. It was a war fought between humanity and the androids humanity had themselves created, the so-called Andro-Eidos. Humans lost the war against their own creation. The few humans who did survive hid in underground facilities, but the hunt was far from over. However, an unexpected factor turned the tide of the war. With mankind at the verge of extinction, Naytibas, powerful creatures from an unknown origin, appeared out of nowhere. The war with the Naytibas brought about the destruction of the androids. And so, during this time, mankind was able to make its escape to the colony. From now on, I plan to investigate the origin of Naytibas. Hopefully, at the origin point, I should find the Elder Naytiba. To anyone who may be watching, may Mother Spear's blessings be with you.
I didn't think a record like this existed.
And there was another big war before the Final War. I never learned about anything like that at the colony.
What do you think, Adam?
The history of mankind is riddled with conflict. It's hardly a surprise to hear about wars before the Final War.
Even so, it's strange that this wasn't passed down. I'll retrieve the legacy and go back.
I guess
Wait a
that's
moment.
one clever way
I
for
can
Adam
pick you
to
up
be
with the
lying.
tetrapod.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
He basically just dodged the question like a professional politician. But he did not lie.